So the algorithm told you to post more reels, more carousels, more stories. And Instagram and TikTok kept that advice front and center, right up until they changed how they rank content. Now, most clothing brands are still playing by the old rules, posting every day, getting almost nothing back. And here's the actual problem, and it's not your posting frequency, it's your messaging. The wrong content type at the wrong stage every time. All right, so I'm gonna use a tool called Whisper Flow, and we're gonna jump into this inside of Claude right here. I want you to use this prompt. So my clothing brand, right, your clothing brand. So my clothing brand is, insert a name for the clothing brand because we're making one up right now. Targets millennials who are into running. What are the 3 beliefs this customer holds about style, confidence, or clothing that might be keeping them from feeling their best? Give me specific beliefs, not generic statements. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to use Claude to build a content system around one belief that moves people from strangers to buyers. There's 4 content types. Let's get into this. Here's what I see with almost every clothing brand doing $50,000 to about $150,000 per month. They're consistent, they're showing up, they're posting, but the content feels random because it is. There's no system, there's no order, wrong message at the wrong stage, and it always feels a little salesy, even when you're not trying to sell. What I'm gonna show you today changes that. There's a 4-stage content framework we use with every brand we work with, and when you run it through Claude, building it takes 20 minutes instead of a week. All right, so quick context, I'm Aaron, I'm the co-founder of Bit Branding. We've worked with over 300 clothing brands in the last 12 months. One of our clients that we were working with, Any Means Necessary, one of the biggest problems that they had was acquisition at scale. Once they were able to figure out their winning product in the winning category, acquisition costs dropped and they were able to scale back up. Most people run into 2 problems in their business, a demand constrained business or a supply constrained business. They had the demand, but not as much profitability. And then they didn't know how to drop the acquisition cost, okay? When that changes, right, you can keep the same ad spend, the same product, and the content sequencing was the only thing that actually changed. That's not an ad problem, that's a messaging problem, and Claude solves that fast. Here's what we're covering: the 4 content types and what each one is actually for. How to use Claude to build all 4 from one belief. Strategy number 1, the framework. Okay, so here's the actual reason your content isn't landing. Content has a job. Every post is supposed to move someone from one step forward in their relationship with your brand. But most brands post whatever feels good that day. Product shots, behind the scenes, memes. There's no order, no sequence, no match between the message and where that person actually is. And here's what nobody tells you: the order matters more than the content itself. Think about it like this: you can't ask someone to marry you on the first date, but that's exactly what brands do when they lead with a product post to a cold audience. Now, there are 4 content types. Each one does a different job. There's connection content. This builds the like, that makes them feel seen. There's a thought reversal, which builds the know. Okay? Challenges a belief that's holding them back. The what to do content builds trust, reduces confusion with one clear step. And then product content builds desire, sells identity, not the feature. Now, every piece of content you create lives in one of these 4 buckets, and they work in order: like, know, trust, and desire. Now, you skip that order, you lose the sale. Now, Claude doesn't just understand this framework, it can execute all 4 types in one session, starting with the one most brands are completely misusing. Strategy number 2, Claude builds the content. Now, everything starts with one belief your audience already holds that's getting in their way. This is not your brand mission statement. This is something your customers actually think. Here's how Claude can help you find it. So connection content's one job: make them feel seen. Not sold to, not educated, seen. Think of it like that first date. You're not pitching, you're vibing, right? You're just trying to make a connection here. There's a brand called Scary But Beautiful Studios. They have 40,000 Instagram followers. Their bio alone does this perfectly. Luxury garments for bold believers. It repels the wrong customer and pulls the right one in without mentioning a single product. That's connection content, and Claude can build yours in under 2 minutes. All right, so you would want to paste this into Claude for the connection content. Write a connection content post for a clothing brand. Our belief: more clothes equals better style. Our audience: people in their 30s who feel like their closet is full but nothing feels right. Make them feel deeply seen, not sold to. Lead with a belief we share, separate from what most brands get wrong, name the frustration, and invite them in. No features, no product mentions, pure identity. You see the difference there? No product, no price, no call to action to buy. Just you get it and so do we. That's what builds a following. That's what gets saves and shares. All right, so here's the post that it wrote out right now. So most brands sold you a lie. They told you more options means more freedom. That's a full closet with a sign you had it together. So you bought and bought and bought, and now you stand in front of a rack of 60 things and feel nothing. Not because you have a bad taste, or because you have bad taste, because you were chasing the feeling that more never actually delivered. We'd rather say it than sell you something that makes it work. If that hits close to home, you're in the right place. Okay, so a couple of notes here on why this works. It says, the opening attacks the industry belief head on, not gently, nothing to put on, nothing that feels like you. The ending invites without selling. No call to action, no link, no offer, just a door left open. That restraint is what builds the brand. All right, then it talks about wanting some variations here. Now, the second piece of content, right, is the thought reversal. Right? The thought reversal is the content type I see misused the most, and everyone thinks it's a hot take. It's not. It's a red pill moment. You're not arguing, you're opening the eyes. So Gratitude Chicago has 5,000 Instagram followers, got into Foot Locker's homegrown program. Not through ads, through content. Not that I dislike ads, but their reversal, right? Streetwear isn't just fashion, it's a gratitude practice. You're not just buying a hoodie, you're choosing how you show up. That one belief shift is what got them into a national retailer. So for the thought reversal, I want you to paste this into Claude. Write a thought reversal post for a clothing brand, belief to challenge more clothes equals better style. The framework here is to state the common belief, acknowledge why it feels true, expose the real cost, introduce the new belief, let them choose. This is not a hot take, it's a revelation. Write it like you're opening their eyes, not winning an argument. That structure right there, that's why it works. You're not telling them they're wrong, you're showing them a cost they didn't see. That's what gets DMs, saying I never thought about it that way. Okay, so let's look at what we got here. Everyone believes more clothes equals better style, and honestly, that belief makes complete sense. More options means more flexibility. More to choose from means you'll always find something that fits the mood, the moment, the occasion. You're never caught off guard. You're always prepared. That's not vanity, that's logic. So you built the closet, you curated it, sale by sale, season by season, you put real thought into it. But here's what nobody told you. Every new piece you added quietly raised the bar. Now getting dressed isn't choosing, it's deciding. There are too many variables, but what about moments? You've turned a simple act into a daily negotiation with yourself, and you walk out the door less confident than when you had half. So step 5, let them choose here. The execution, the framework execution, is the hardest one to get right. Most brands chicken out and sneak a sell in there. This version hands it back to them with zero pressure, which is exactly what makes it stick. The last line lands because it assumes they already believe it. That's not a close, it's a mirror. The most stylish people you've ever met didn't have more. They had less, chosen better. You remember what they wore because they did too. Here's a new belief we're trying on. Style is not what you have, it's what you keep. You don't have to buy that, but if some part of you already knew it, maybe it's time to start living like you do. So what to do content is your GPS, not the textbook. One turn, one step. That's it, right? You are showing people how to or what to do, not how to. So the mistake brands make here is trying to teach everything they know. You give too many steps and you create more confusion than you actually fix. So Coco Pina is a swimwear brand that we work with, and they ran a very simple post, right? 3 ways to pack your swimwear without wrinkling it. Honestly, super helpful. A lot of my swimsuits are super wrinkled. No product pitch, no sale, just one clear, useful thing. It drove a flood of DMs asking where to buy and really drove traffic to the site. That's what to do content working exactly the way it's supposed to. So inside of here, I want you to post this or share this prompt for your brand. So write a post for a clothing brand. Audience frustration, their outfits never feel finished. The format, name the problem, call out the common mistake, explain why it creates more frustration, redirect their focus, and give them 2 to 3 high-level steps only, not the full tutorial. Then there should be a call to action that points to a next action. Keep it as a GPS, not a textbook. Short, clear, one direction. This is what drives saves and replies. Can you do 1x? That's your audience telling you what to make next. Your outfits don't feel finished because you have to keep trying to fix them with more. Another top, another pair of shoes, another scroll through saved posts hoping something clicks. The real issue isn't what you have, it's nothing in your closet is talking to each other. You've got great pieces and zero systems, so every morning you're starting from scratch hoping it lands. Here's where to actually start. Pick one color that anchors everything. Not a theme, just a through line. Something that makes your whole closet feel like it belongs to the same person. Edit before you add. Pull out anything that doesn't fit that anchor. Not forever, just to the side. See how fast getting dressed changes. Build one outfit that feels complete. Just one. Study why it works. That's your blueprint. You don't need more clothes, you need more clear direction. If you want help finding yours, drop your biggest closet frustration in the comments, send us a DM, and link to quiz or kind of the next step. Short, one road, no detours. Then it says, want me to punch up the call to action with a specific offer or destination, right? So you can do that. And now, the one everyone skips straight to, right? The product content. And the thing is, it's not the problem, it's just that you can't lead with it. So Apple doesn't sell specs, they sell who you are when you have the product. You're not selling a hoodie, you're selling who they are when they wear it. So Become a Villain does this as well as anyone we have seen. The brand name itself is a thought reversal, and their product copy never mentions fabric, fit, or price. It leads with the person every single time. The result, content that gets saved, shared, and converts cold traffic. All right, so let's use Claude now to help with the product content. Write product content for a clothing brand. The belief context. More clothes equals better style. Challenge this through identity. Rules never lead with features. Never separate with the product from the lifestyle. Never use urgency language. Start with the person, not the product. Show the environment it lives in and let the product support the identity. End with an invitation, not a push. You hear the difference? Ad language says premium, 380 GSM cotton, buy now, limited stock. Identity language says for the one who shows up with an intention, even on the off days. Same product, completely different signal to the buyer. You're the person who walks in and the room just knows. Not because you said anything, not because you tried hard, because everything about you is settled, decided. There's no gap between who you are and what you're wearing. It's the same sentence. All right, so that kind of presence doesn't come from a full closet, it comes from a clear one. The people who get it aren't wearing more, they're wearing right. This piece was made for that person. The one who already knows who they are and just wants their wardrobe to stop arguing with it. It moves how you move. It stays where it should. It doesn't need explaining. If it sounds like your kind of wardrobe, you're already most of the way there. Why this hold? So no adjectives describing the fabric, no limited stock, no don't miss out. The product doesn't appear until the person is already fully seen, which means that by the time this shows up, it belongs to them. The last line is an open door, not a countdown. Okay, then it says, want this adapted to a specific product, a jacket, etc. Right? You would put this for your specific brand. Now, like if you're doing 50K to 150K a month and content still feels like guessing, this is the part that changes that. So most brands that come to us have been posting for 12 months with no system. They're not behind on content, they're behind on trust. And trust is the only thing that converts. The brands winning right now aren't the ones posting the most. They're the ones whose audience trusts them enough to buy. And this system is how you build that. Here's how you run the 4 content types every single week in order. So post number 1, okay, and if you do more than one post a day, do it, but post number 1, connection, make them feel seen. Post 2, a thought reversal, a challenge belief. Post number 3, connection, reinforce that feeling. Post number 4, that what to do, give them one clear step. Post number 5, thought reversal, deepen that shift. Post number 6, product, sell that identity. Post 7, product, again, sell that identity again. So 2 connections, 2 thought reversals, 1 what to do, and 2 products. Now every week, the same belief, different expressions. Don't optimize until you execute consistently. And the thing that I would say here is that if you start to do more than one post per day, then you can mix and match a lot easier, right? So it's just based off of kind of like a percentage, if you will, meaning you don't have to be exactly, X amount of connections or X amount of, thought reversals. But right now, if you're only posting one time per day, this gives you a framework to work off of, okay? And if you know anything about Instagram, or if you know anything about TikTok, is that they are not showing this directly to all of your followers. It's interest-based. So you doing them in that order, they may go out of order for an audience. However, if somebody sees your content more than once and they see multiple of those videos, they will build upon each other, and that's what we're really looking for. Okay, so now I want to talk about the 7 post week builder. This will help you with the content side of things. I need a full 7 post week for my clothing brand. And the belief here is my clothes equals better style. Audience, okay, describe who your audience actually is. This is the millennial who is athletic into running. Build all 7 posts in order. Connection, thought reversal, connection, what to do, thought reversal, product, and keep each post tight and in the same brand voice. Each one should have a clear content type label and be ready to post. Kind of a bonus here is I need you to act as a top copywriter for my brand. 1 session, 7 posts, it's done. And they're not random, they're a sequence. Each one moves the same person 1 step closer. So don't judge content by likes. Judge it by the right signal for each type. So connection, this is so me comments, friend tags, new follows from shares, thought reversal, save spikes, DMs asking for follow-up questions, what to do, replies, can you do one on XYZ, right? Those kind of messages. For the product, you want this clicks to the product page, purchases. I've been thinking about this since. So when the signals are off, adjust the belief or the content type, not the posting frequency. All right, so here are some of the examples that I gave for the post. We're not gonna go through all of them, but I'll show all of them to you. So post number 1, you run at 5 a.m. before the city wakes up, not because someone told you to, because that hour belongs to you. The miles, the quiet version of yourself shows up when nobody is watching. That's the real one. That's good. Good connection, relatable. The thought reversal. Everyone believes that the most stylish people have the most clothes. This makes sense on the surface. More options, more variety. Always something for every occasion. It feels like freedom. Okay, there we go. Another connection. Day number 3. Your outfit feels off and you can't figure out why. You've got a full closet, good pieces, nothing cheap, but every morning still feels like a negotiation. Right? So there we go. Thought reversal. You've been told confidence comes from looking like you have it all together. So you bought the pieces, rotated them, added more when something felt missing, tried to dress like the people you respect. Confidence doesn't come from what's in the closet, it comes from knowing who you are when the closet is empty. All right, product. You're 3 miles in before most people check their phone. That version of you, settled, self-directed, already ahead, doesn't stop at the finish line. It carries into how you walk into a room after. Product. The runner's paradox. The less you think about the gear, the better you perform. When it's right, you forget you're wearing it. The only thing left is the work. It's good. Post 7, connection. Sunday, long run done. The week ahead already mapped. Not scrolling, not planning the next purchase, just the clarity that comes after hard mile. All right, so a note on this arc. The week opens and closes with identity, not the product. Post 1 and 7 are bookends. Same audience, same feeling, different day in their life. The thought reversals use running as an analogy because your audience already trusts the framework. You started this video being told the answer was posting more content, more frequency, more reach. Now you know why that advice was costing you. It was never a volume problem. It was a messaging problem. The brands winning right now aren't posting more. They're posting with a job. And Claude just made building that system 10 times faster. So I built a Claude content system prompt pack, which that's a mouthful right there, but it's specifically for you clothing brand founders. So it's the exact prompts from this video, pre-written, ready to copy into Claude. There's a connection prompt, there's a thought reversal prompt, the what to do prompt, the product prompt, and the 7 post week builder. You drop in your belief, your audience, it builds your content in under 20 minutes. Comment content below and I'll send it straight to you. If you're wanting somebody to look at your content and dive deeper into it and find out exactly what you are missing, all you need to do is check out the link in the description down below. There are no-cost strategy sessions with us where we will dive deeper into your brand, and our promise to you is no matter what, we'll point you in the right direction. YouTube already knows you need to go check out one of these videos right here. We'll see you over on the other side.